Oh, hell no. I'm not letting my tax dollars pay for your son's gang uniform so he can go sell drugs at school. That voice, it just crashed into my world like a brick through a window. Sharp, nasal, coming from the kind of person who says things with so much confidence you almost admire the sheer ignorance. I just froze there, debit card in my hand, right at the register in this huge department store, the kind that has a section for school uniforms, bright signs and all. My son. God. My amazing kid, smart and funny, about to start high school at one of the toughest, most competitive public schools in the city. He busted his tail to test into that place. And the school had a strict uniform. Navy polo, khaki pants, nothing fancy. I had a stack of uniforms in my arms, ready to buy them with my own hard-earned money, feeling that proud dad energy, you know? It's a big moment, standing there, about to pay for the next chapter of his life. And then, boom! In comes the woman in the yellow tracksuit. She was behind me in line, maybe late 40s, that tight, angry ponytail, giant sunglasses hiding her eyes, even inside. She points at me, all bones and venom, iPhone pressed to her ear like a prop. My son wasn't there. Thank God. He was off at math camp. This was supposed to be a surprise. I'm a calm guy, built enough, beard, a manager at work. And yeah, I'm black. That's what she saw. Not a dad. Not a manager. Just the color of my skin. I tried to be polite. Ma'am, this is a school uniform for my son. He's starting high school. Even pointed to the giant sign behind me. She just sneered, stepped closer, and made sure everyone in earshot could hear her. I know your type. Bet you're getting government checks. Probably reselling this for a profit. Thugs. All of you. Leeches. The absurdity almost made me laugh, except, it wasn't funny. People started staring. Nosy, uncomfortable, some pulling out their phones. She was off, spinning up a whole criminal enterprise in her head. Me, the welfare cheat, the gang kingpin. I tried to keep calm, hands up, just a dad buying his kid clothes. But that only made her angrier. Maybe because I wouldn't give her the angry black man reaction she was fishing for. She jabs her phone, starts screaming about me threatening her. Yes, 9/11. There's a very large, aggressive man. He's threatening me. He has a knife. I'm scared for my life. And just like that, my day was hijacked. People started recording. She even said she was with her son, a kid who didn't exist, using this imaginary child as a human shield. Then she dropped the nuclear bomb, told the 911 operator I'd whispered I had a knife, that I'd wait for her in the parking lot. The world went silent. I could see the calculation behind those sunglasses. She knew exactly what she was doing, weaponizing every stereotype, every system built to believe her over me. The police arrived like a SWAT team. 3 cruisers, officers coming in fast, hands on weapons, all eyes on me. Karen. Yeah, her, collapsed in a puddle of fake sobs, pointing at me. He's the one, he has a knife. Next thing I know, 2 officers are shouting, one pulls his gun. Hands on your head. Get on your knees. That's a special kind of fear, having a gun aimed at you for buying school uniforms. I did as I was told, hands on my head, lowering myself onto the cold, grimy linoleum. The humiliation was a living, breathing thing. I wasn't a father, a manager, a man anymore. I was just a perp, a headline waiting to happen. Cuffed, patted down, no knife, of course, my wallet, my car keys, that's it. Meanwhile, another cop was comforting Karen like she was a hero, a victim. I tried to plead, begged them to check the cameras, asked the cashier, but the poor kid behind the register just shook his head, terrified. They paraded me through the store, through the mall, in cuffs, people staring, filming, rumors flying. The big, bad black man hauled away for attacking a helpless woman and her child. That walk was a mile long, each step erasing a piece of my dignity. They put me in the cruiser, drove me to the station, silent except for the crackle of the police radio. I tried to explain, I have a family, I manage a team, I've never been arrested, but all I got was save it for the judge. At booking, they took everything. Shoelaces, belt, wallet, phone, watch. Fingerprints, mug shot, cold, sticky ink, flashbulbs. Into a cell, steel door, concrete, metal slab for a bed. The only smell was despair. I sat, head in hands, feeling the whole weight finally crash down. Arrested for assault with a deadly weapon, making terrorist threats. Because a woman in a tracksuit decided she didn't like the color of my skin. Time in jail is strange. Hours dissolve into each other. The only marker is bad food shoved through a slot, changing guards. I thought about my wife, how she'd panic when I didn't come home, my son, his new uniform, his big moment, all of it poisoned by this. Finally, I got my one phone call, dialed my wife Colette, her voice frantic on the other end. Had to tell her, I've been arrested. For what? I tried to explain. The uniforms, the woman, the lies, the knife. Heard her anger turn white hot. I'm going to kill her. I begged her. Call a real lawyer, a criminal defense lawyer. We barely had time before the line cut out. Back to the cell, feeling more alone than ever. Next morning, they loaded me on a bus, chains at wrists and ankles, to the courthouse. My hope, naive, I know, was that the judge would see reason, let me go home. Instead, I got a public defender who looked like she'd already lost 100 fights before mine. The judge barely looked at me. The prosecutor, smug in his cheap suit, read the charges: assault with a deadly weapon, terrorist threat, both felonies. The judge denied bail, called me a danger to the community. I was sent back to county jail, a new number in an orange jumpsuit, a body in a cage. County jail's a world apart. My cellmate, an older guy, gave me the rules. Keep to yourself, don't look weak. I tried to disappear, survive. My wife was out there fighting for me. Hired a real lawyer, Ms. Ali, a bulldog. She tracked down witnesses, posted flyers, anything to find the truth. My son, meanwhile, blamed himself, thought if he hadn't gotten into that school, none of this would have happened. My wife was fighting a war on two fronts. One for me, one to keep our son from falling apart. After a week, Ms. Ali got me a bail hearing. She came in like a force of nature, tore apart the prosecution's case, introduced a new witness, an off-duty nurse who'd seen the whole thing, heard the racist rants, saw I never spoke a word to Karen. The judge set bail, absurdly high, but at least it was possible. My wife scraped together the money, signed over our house as collateral. Hours later, I walked out into the night, held my wife, felt the weight start to lift, but not all the way. Bail meant a GPS ankle monitor, curfews, constant check-ins, a prisoner on the outside. Back at work, there were whispers. The local news ran with the headline: man arrested for threats, weapon, no mention of uniforms. My son's first days of high school were joyless, grades slipping, his dream tainted by the lies. Ms. Ali and our new PI, Frank, started digging into Karen's past. What they found blew everything open. Turns out, she wasn't just a garden-variety bigot. She was a serial scammer, running a fake charity, grifting donations with fabricated crime stories, funneling everything into her own account. Ms. Ali sent all the evidence to the DA and the state attorney general. The DA's case against me collapsed overnight. They tried to offer a plea, disturbing the peace, time served, but I refused. No way I'd plead guilty to surviving a hate crime. The AG moved in on Karen, froze her accounts, started a fraud investigation. The DA dropped all charges against me. I got my ankle monitor cut off. The relief, I can't even describe it. We celebrated at home, just the three of us, pizza and a dumb movie, finally feeling like a family again. But the story wasn't over. Ms. Ali sued everyone. The police, the store, Karen herself. The news blew up. Suddenly, we were national. We did one interview, told the whole painful story. People rallied, raised money for our legal bills, flooded us with support. The city and the store folded, offered settlements, public apologies, policy changes. But Karen? She was broke, so we settled for her life rights. She signed over her story, her likeness, everything. She could never profit from her crime. With the settlement, we started the Uniform Project, a foundation to help the wrongfully accused, to pay for lawyers, to fund scholarships, turning that uniform, once a symbol of trauma, into a beacon for hope. My son, with a good therapist, found his way back, studied, thrived, chased his dream of aerospace engineering. I left my job to run the foundation. For a while, life found a new normal. But you can't kill a parasite, not forever. 5 years later, one of our cases, a kid named Leo, railroaded for a robbery he didn't commit, started showing up on weird blogs. The story twisted. A new GoFundMe running the same old grift. The mastermind? A new advocate, Joan, who turned out to be Karen, rebranded. She'd found a loophole, couldn't profit off her own story, so she hijacked someone else's. She spun Leo into her puppet, sabotaged his legal case, manipulated the media, nearly got him convicted, until she was caught, again, for fabricating evidence. This time, there was no bail, no escape. She went back to prison, this time for good. Leo found the strength to tell his own story, warned others about so-called saviors. If there's a real victory, it's that. The true justice isn't just sending Karen to jail or getting a fat settlement. It's helping people reclaim their voices, to fight for themselves, to find their own strength after the system or a parasite tries to steal it. And if you're listening, if you've ever found yourself doubting whose story gets told or who gets believed, think about that. How a lie, told loudly enough, can almost erase a family. But the truth, told bravely, patiently, even after the worst, can do more than clear a name. It can change the system if enough of us refuse to stay quiet. So, tell me, who do you think deserves a second chance? Who do you trust with your story? And would you have done what I did? Walked away from a plea, risked everything, just to clear your name? Drop your thoughts, your own stories, your outrage, or your doubts, because that's the only way anything ever changes.